Sooz from Sawyer. This ought to be good. Ugh, already need a Kleenex. Now, I have little seasonal allergies, I guess. If I'm in the city, it's because the city's dirty. If I'm in the woods, it's because the woods are woodsy. So, I had a colleague send me a great workout, Ava. I'll give you a call out, wonderful colleague. I love her, very smart. But she had a TheraBand, and you know TheraBands, I'm sure you have it in your house. Go grab it, go get your TheraBand. And, but I don't have one. So I got a pair of leggings. I tied the leg and tied the leg. And I'm gonna step into the crotch of those feet, or those leggings. It's kind of working pretty good, but it's also a little bit weird. Maybe in an interesting way, okay? All right, so we're just gonna sit super tall. Start pulling that air in. Let's start to breathe, and we're gonna think about Ava. I love her. So pull that air in through the nose. Sit tall. As you look into your core, your knees are bent and you roll back. You saw that hip to rib thing? Go for it. Hold here. Look into your core. You can pull, give it a pull, and help yourself roll right back up. Good, good. Consider your spine kind of like a wheel. Place one spoke of the wheel down onto the mat as you go. It's not going to touch unless you want to. Go for it. Good. Now, drag that diamond into your navel. Inhale. And exhale and peel back off the floor. Some people call this a pearl necklace. No, Mark Hobley, not that pearl necklace. Now roll down. I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Pull it down. Watch that pubic bone go boom. It just pierced my they go right through that navel. If I want a round spine, it's magical. All I have to do is look into my core. Pull up. I'm using my arms. I'm using my core. I'm not using my hip flexors, because they ain't core muscles. They're your hip flexors. That's how you walk. That's how you sit. They flex your hips. There you go. Pull back up. Mary Danahy, what do you think? And two more. Look into your core. Flatten that belly. Oh, Lord. And now gently tug. And my shoulders don't come off. I know this is hard. Good. Roll back up. You're trying to reach your rib towards your hips. And then once you get there, watch those ribs. They part from the hips and you sit tall. Great. So you can take those as low as you like. You can do them as many times. The thing about Pilates is it's not meant to do 100. It's meant to do 5 or 6 so good that you just do the next exercise, the next, until you've done 45 exercises in 1 hour. You can do it. Here we go. Now the next set is a half roll down with a little bit of rotation. You'll half roll, pull your elbow, come back up, sit tall. These are kind of stretchy. Pantyhose would probably work pretty good, but you gotta worry that they might tear, so you gotta be careful. Roll halfway down, give it a tug, back up to tempo, and pull for 6 and 5. Now in the beginning, our tutorials they're more tutorials, so it's not like, sometimes it's like, Sooz, speed it up, or you didn't do both sides. For now, we're just kind of learning how to move, because when I start kicking your butt, believe me, you're going to want to know how to move. 4, I can't count, and 3, and 2. Watch what happens. This shoulder blade pulls into my spine. Look at where I go. I'm hanging onto a rope out here. Come back up. Good. 2 more. I could pull back up with that arm too. Get both arms to work for you. Come up. Good. And come up. So I changed that just a little bit. There's lots you can do there. Oh, I even made a script, and I have a whiteboard now. Oh, band over shin. Band over shin. Let's see how this looks. Now, again, this should be a TheraBand. You know, it's one of those $4 items that can change your life. I guarantee you have 4 of them, 2 of them, one's ripped. Be careful. The thing I don't care about, I don't love TheraBands, because they're hard for me to hang on to, and they can slip and slide off really fast. This little, it's kind of like a bungee. It is a bungee. It's actually from Blue Man. It's down in their gym. They warm up and stretch with these things. It's a great idea. Bungee, not expensive. All right, so what do we got? Oh, bend over, shin. Okay, I'm down. All right. Beautiful. Look into the future. Don't look straight up at the ceiling because you just pinch the cervical nerves of the neck. That can give you a headache later. Now, keep both shins in place. Go to a position, and you know, hopefully you have a TheraBand and you were thinking, oh goodness, I finally know what to do with it. I would pull your toes to your face, and at this point, I'm just going to kind of push my legs apart. You don't have to have your legs apart, and I'm going to slide down just a little bit and pull for 10. I'm not getting a lot of tug out of this because these tights are not that stretchy. They're pretty cottony for 5. And 4. Keep those wrists flat. 3 and 2. You have a TheraBand. This is going to go much better. 1. Good work. Good. Now, if I was in Blue Man warming up to go perform, I could probably kick it here, all right, and pull a little bit here. That's kind of weird. I wouldn't probably try that. Too trustworthy there. Oh, I like this thought. Think of reformer. Many of you take private sessions or duet sessions with me. To do your reformer work, hang on to your straps, put your shoulders on the floor, connect your, I'm going to go right to my toes. This thing's different than a TheraBand. TheraBand you can put over the bottoms of your feet. This won't stay there for 10. Good. It's not super duper comfortable, but we're the MacGyver of fitness. I'm going to pick up my TheraBands. Literally, I've been going through the neighborhoods, a couple different stores. I could not find a TheraBand. People are buying things. I'll tell you, kids, get ready. Home fitness is the future. This is where we're headed. Start to invest in a couple programs, or a couple, I should say, props, and stretch that leg out long. Bring your feet, excuse me, side by side. I would just kind of, if you have a little band like I do, kind of drape your toes, kind of pull your toes and pull down for 10, 9. Now, if you have a TheraBand, put it right across the bottoms of your feet for 5 and 4. Long feet, not dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, 2 and 1. Good. This is so MacGyver. It's not what I would call ideal, but you know what? At this point, what is? I'm going to pull my shoulders wide, pull my knees towards my chest. It's not about pulling in. I want to drop those kneecaps right over the hip bones. Perfect movement for 10. I'm nowhere near my shoulders to my ears. Your ears are chandelier earrings. The chandelier earring should always be very just gracefully touching or brushing the top of the shoulder. We're not crushing, because then your entire body is disconnected. Your shoulders are off your back, your upper body and lower body are connected. Last 2, last 1, and 1. Good. If you want to get out there a little bit more, you could point and flex for 10, 9, 8. This will get you to 7, 6, 5, 4. It's not about pointing your toes. You will be sorry. 2 and 1. Pull that back in. Nice. Good. Roll up. Woohoo, we're not going to do those. All right. I threw out some of this work because I didn't really have the right apparatus. Even though I had this little helpful tool, that TheraBand made a huge, big difference on this one. Ava had a nice ending that we can add to this today. So I just want you to sit tall. If this is unavailable, we'll get a little pad. Maybe you could sit on something. Ta-da! Because the more you're out of this part of your hip right here, the easier it is to sit. Why this gets painful and difficult is because the spine sinks down. So that's an issue. So take your little TheraBand. I'm going to give it a wrap. Never wrap it around your fingers because you'll end up shutting off all the blood. And it hurts later. You don't want to think of things later like, uh-oh, I shouldn't have done that. So I'm seated. Push that hand down. Now look at my wrist. It's flat. Organize your jewelry and give it a kick for 10. Now this is an interesting little feel. You can see I'm not really pushing with my wrist. I'm kicking with my little finger. Get that out there. It's not about straightening my arm long. It's not about straightening out that right arm. Every time I push this arm out, I palpitate my navel. For 6. I'm barely touching here for 5. It just gives me a little stability. 4. 3. Kick it away with that little finger. 2. And 1. Now, jewelry. I think I'm going to unwrap this at this point. Give yourself a little stretch. Don't force this. I promise you, you don't want that. I think I'm going to shorten that up because I need a little more help. Now, this shouldn't be compromising. Oh my gosh, this is awful. If all you can do is you're here, that's what you're doing. Watch this arm. I don't even need these things. As I turn this shoulder, watch what happens. It brings me up. This shoulder brings me up. So if you can get that motion, how beautiful. Good. Other side. All right, great. So stabilize the bottom arm, and it's a little harder for me to sit here because this hip's missing a lot of bone. So I gotta sit into it, but don't crush it because I'm not really trying to sit on tush. Maybe I'll get there. It's not imperative. It's more about getting that spine all the way up to the ceiling and your rib cage off your hips. So again, I'm not leaning and like, oh, these are amazing, because they wouldn't be. Now, get yourself a TheraBand. And 10, and 9. And you can use a weight here. This is just a way to stabilize the band. I could just use a weight. I've got some over there. And 5, it would just look like this for 4. It's nice to turn your face away from the action because you get more work kind of infraspinatus, supraspinatus all around that rotator cuff. It just gives you a little different feel too. I can't count 1. Good work. Who knew that? Pilates teachers don't count. We just talk a lot. Now, this shoulder, down. All my action is going to come from here. So, I'm going to rotate and pull this shoulder around. I need more torque. I need a little more help. Watch how my body turns on the maypole right here. Turn that right shoulder. Ooh, this isn't easy for me either. I was in a body cast for over a year, you guys, and it was not set right. And I've had a dislocated shoulder. It took me almost 20 years to get it back on my back. For 2, these are beautiful. The elbow, if you burn and torque it here, get ready. Tennis elbow, don't force it. Who cares? Nothing should hurt in real time. All right, so now, to end, we're going to do just what's called breathing. This is a Pilates exercise that's done on the Cadillac. You can do it anywhere. That's what's so beautiful about Pilates, is once you learn an action one place, you'll practice it upside down, hanging upside down, on your feet, on your back, sideways. It's going to be the same action. I went to Menards, socially distancing. I bought a dowel. It's an oak, maybe $5, stoppers 3. You want one of these, I don't care. If I were to buy these online, they're probably $65, so don't do that. Here we go. Now, thigh stretch. I'm kind of looking straight forward. Now, as I lean back, I'm looking out the bottom of my eye. This is not fun. Push the bar down and come home. Lift your arms up, tilt back, and come back home. You didn't see a lot of movement. I don't have a lot of stretch here. You're going to quad. When you feel that stretch, you'll remember that thought. Now, lift and come back home. If that's difficult, bring your feet together. You saw maybe that happen back here. You're not going to get as far, but it might not be as tight. So that's also a thought. So thigh stretch for 2. Good. And last one. Squeeze to pull down. Good. Now the next one's called breathing. So you would pull the bar down to your hips. Turn your face to the right, left, center. Bring your arms forward. Pull your hands to your hips. Close your rib cage. Turn left, right, center. Pull forward. Okay, great. We're going to practice. That was a warm-up. This is called breathing. I want you to practice this breath. I tell you to don't hold your breath. This one you do. To become more advanced, it's not always that the exercises are harder. Sometimes it's the breathing count, and it'll be coordinated in a different way, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, you got to think it through. Okay, so breathing. So your bar would be in front of you, or you can just use weights. You don't need anything. You can sit in a chair. Sit in a chair. Footstool. Pull your hands to your hips. Pull together here. Pull the breath in. And now there's one more attitude that you add. Watch the breath. Inhale, hold your breath. 3 breaths on top of your deepest breath. This is tough. Inhale. Now to the left. To the right. Last one left. And row your boat for 10. If this hurts, don't do the knees, don't do the shins. Sit in a chair. Sit on your hips. You don't need to do this part. Reverse for 5. And roll your belly. It's called rowing the boat. For 4 and 3. I'm working on a toe cramp. I hope you had a good time. This was a little different too. Took hours to get this shoot together today, folks. And 1, good work. Get your bar from Menards. Ooh, tuck that toe under. Use your stripper pole to get up and off that floor. Take you